checking the lighting again to see if it's good. Hey beautiful ones, and welcome back to Home and Healing with Sheree Dominique, your sanctuary for faith, femininity, and emotional restoration. So it is Saturday. And first of all, if you're new here, hey, and if you're returning, hey girl, hey. It's Saturday. It's raining, it's gloomy, but I needed to record a video for you. This video is really going to be another good one. So I hope that I'm dropping some gems. I hope that you are, taking note if you don't know. And I'm also hoping that these are like little self-reminders for you to remember your worth, right? And to continue adding value to yourself. So, welcome. Today's coffee mug is always put your hope in God. And this Hosea 12:6. Always put your hope in God. I made some really, really good coffee, and I have pumpkin pie creamer. This is hot, and I could barely take a sip, but hold on. Ooh, that's good, y'all. Okay, so first things first, let's light this candle. Today's candle, I don't know if I have a fragrance, but it is a part of like this holiday, collection. Red Berry Balsam Scented Candle. I got this candle when I was in the Poconos. It smells really good. I wish you all can smell it, but I love the like star flaky vibe. So I definitely want to light this. Now let's hope my lighter is charged and it doesn't play me on camera. Because you know how sometimes you like to set the vibe and create the aesthetic, and then the flicker doesn't want to work. So thankfully this is one wick, and hopefully it lights. Yay. All right, so the mood is setting. Okay. So in today's video, girlies, I really want to talk about stop dating potential. Let's just cut to it. Stop dating and settling for potential. I think that we want to see the good in people, and we want to see that people have the ability to become, and we give them the opportunity to evolve. But the reality is some of us are settling for and dating and being in full relationships and even marrying potential when we do not see purpose, we do not see priorities, we do not see principles, we do not see that. We just settle for potential because potential typically give us hope. Potential typically give this energy that things are happening. There's a possibility. I don't want us to stay stuck dating possibilities and potentials and look at principle, look at priorities, look at purpose in the partnerships. Yes? Okay. I have to lead with, my personal experiences. Whenever I date potential and I'm in full-fledged relationships with potential versus true partnership, where there's principles and purpose and priorities, I find myself really becoming less of who I desire to be, less of who God created me to be, and I'm also out of alignment with the purpose that God has for me. And also I start to take an assessment and realize that my principles aren't as solid right? I've compromised on those, and my priorities are all out of whack because I'm spending a lot of time trying to invest in someone, to pour into someone, and to build someone and encourage someone to be the person that they had said that they were already in order to pursue me. I'm using a lot of P's right now, but I hope you get the gist. We cannot stay stuck with potential. Now, yes, we have always had room to grow. Everybody has room to grow. I have room to grow. I am healing. I am evolving. I am maturing. I am growing. I am elevating. I am doing all of those things. All of the things. But I think we come with our own set of principles, right? Our own set of spiritual values, our own belief, our own purpose, our own promise, vow to ourselves, and our priorities, right? We know clearly who we are, what we desire, what we deserve, and what we're willing to be in order to reciprocate that, if you know what I mean. And when we sometimes be in relationships because of a trauma bond or because of familiarity, knowing someone for a number of years, being with them, and they may be, the father of our children or our child, or maybe we've had a long history with them. Sometimes we get stuck in that potential. We want to see the good in other people. We want to see that I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. You got this. You can do this. I've seen your sparkle. I've seen your light. I've seen areas in your life where you have been more. I see the potential that you can become more. But the reality is, are they willing and ready to become more for themselves so that they can be more for you? Or are they only trying to become more for you to keep you, to appease you, to please you, and to trap you? We have to stop settling for and dating potential. Potential is not getting us to purpose. Potential is not aligning with principle. Potential is not aligning with priorities. Potential is not aligning with partnership. Potential is, I have the ability to do it. I might even be capable of doing it, but I'm not ready right now. I have the potential to be better. I've done it before, but it's not the core of who I am. It's not my being. It's not the essence of who I am. It's not the makeup of me. But I've done it before. Like, I've paid bills before by myself. I had an apartment before. I paid several bills before. I've helped, contribute to a household before. Those, to me, that's potential. You've done it before. You could do it again. But is it embedded in you? Is it something that is the makeup of you? No one has to coerce you into doing anything. No one has to influence you to do anything. No one has to force you to do anything. You wake up and you know these are the sets of responsibilities and principles and core values that I live by, and I'm just going to show up and be me. I'm not going to be performative. I'm not going to deceive you. I'm not going to lead with being, having so much potential to make you invest or feel like I'm coming around the pipe to be who you need me to be. I am who I am, and I show up as such, and I present myself, and that's that. A lot of people out here, y'all, are not solid. They want you to hold on and to commit to and to invest in and to vow to principle when they never get to principle, priorities, purpose, or partnership. They want you to give all of those things to them while they sit back and have potential and be complacent, take up proximity in your life, and expect you to invest. That's heavy, but that's the truth. So I want you to really take an assessment of your relationships, past, present, and really self-reflect and really ask yourself, like, have I been dating and settling for potential? Did I even marry potential? But I never saw all of those other things. I don't have a partnership. This person doesn't lead with principle. They are not tapped into their purpose. And they don't have their priorities in line. Did I marry that? Am I in a full-fledged relationship with that? Or do I really have all of those things, and those things are being strengthened and built as we continue to grow? Like, I'm not here to make you question a relationship that you know has value, or question yourself, and that things are solid and things are good. I am simply sharing this video so that I can leave you some self-reminders, some self-reflections on, like, am I really setting myself up for failure because I am holding on to potential that will never fully evolve into the things that we just mentioned, all of the P's? Because ultimately, sis, you're going to be very miserable and feel very much limited, and you're going to feel restricted, and you're going to lack so many other components that you are looking for in a relationship, marriage, and partnership when you are settling for someone who's just giving you potential. Potential to me seems like a placeholder, and that's another P. What is up today? But it's a placeholder to say, yeah, I have the ability. I may be capable of doing it, but I don't want to do it right now. I can do it if I want to. I do it sometimes, but it's not my core principles and values that I live by. But I'm going to string you along, right? So that you can keep believing and investing in the potential instead of focusing on the principle and the purpose and the priority and the partnership. So, ladies, I have some tips on how to break these cycles. And I'm going to leave them in the description so that you can copy paste them, take note of them, and go back and self-reflect and do your, self-work, right? Your inner healing work in your home. And if you want to dive deeper, or you want to schedule a one-on-one to unpack some things, make sure that you check the description for all of the deets so you can know how to contact me. So this is how we are going to break these cycles. The first is, and this is breaking cycles for toxic relationships and potential, a person that you're dating or in a relationship with that's leaning on potential alone, and these relationships have become toxic. These relationships have become weary and wearing you down and wearing you out, and relationships that are not meeting your need. So I want you to name the pattern that you see, not just the person. Because sometimes we look at the person and we get so caught up in that familiar thing. See, that not the person is the familiarity, but naming the pattern is you separating yourself from the person and seeing them and identifying that spirit behind it and seeing exactly who they are, right? These cycles repeat because the patterns feel familiar. Pay attention to what keeps showing up emotionally, whether it's chaos, control, not just who's involved, right? Not just the parties involved or the person involved, but look at the patterns. Look at these experiences that you continuously have, encounters that you continuously have, and then you get to identify that and know how to identify the cycle and then start to break the cycle. Stop confusing potential with reality. It is not your reality. That is not your reality. Them being who you want them to be is not a reality. It's the potential that they're leading with, and they're blindsiding you with potential. And a lot of potential come with love bombing and, trying to woo you and charm you, which is all deceit, because at the end of the day they know that that's not who they are and their principles and their core values. Love doesn't live in someone who could be. It lives in what they consistently choose to do. Release the fantasy and respond to the facts. Keep the facts the facts. Keep the main thing, okay? 3, heal the part of you that tolerates less. I'm guilty of that. I am working on that. I always seem to be drawn to someone who has potential, and because I don't want to lead with acting like or pretending that I'm perfect. I know that we all are evolving, we're all growing, we're all learning, we are making mistakes along the way. I definitely give grace in that area, but I think that for me, I am always falling in the trap of dealing with someone with potential, right? And tolerating less when I'm not seeing those core things that I've been praying about, the purpose that God has been aligning me to, right? The call on my life. I've been ignoring all of those other things for potential, and that is too high of a cost to exchange for potential. So these bonds, whether they're toxic, often attached to unhealed wounds that we have, fears, right, of abandonment, low self-worth, or the need to be chosen. Healing that root changes what you attract. Listen, I have been all of these things, right? Fear of abandonment, low self-worth, all of those things has been me. And I believe this is why I choose or have chosen the relationships and the things that I have, because of those things. So pay attention to your upbringing, your traumas, your worth, your lack of worth, your limited beliefs, and then you get to understand why you're choosing the person that is in your life today. Hope these are good. Set boundaries and keep them. We compromise, right? Because we feel like we are putting our foot on people's necks so much that they just can't live up to the standards that we set for ourselves. So we start to lower our standards and bring them all the way down to the point that now we have no boundaries, and they cross them over and over and over and over and over again. And then we get angry and upset and then want to reset the boundary. We have to just stick to it and say, listen, you either align or you don't align. You either respect the boundary or you move on to someone else that has no boundaries. But I'm not going to lower my boundaries and standards for you. Boundaries don't work unless they are enforced. Say less, do more. Let your actions back your words. 5, regulate your nervous system. Chaos can feel like chemistry when your body is used to survival mode. Learn to recognize peace as safety, not boredom. Listen, I can also speak to this. My nervous system was pretty shot in my last relationship. So much chaos that I mistaken it for chemistry. Oh, we're arguing and fighting over this. There must be a lot of passion there. It must be because I really want this so bad. It must be because I really see something in this. I see the potential of what we can be. So I'm just going to continue at this over and over and over and over and over again, where my nervous system was shot. My nervous system always felt triggered and unstable whenever this person was in my proximity, no matter how I tried to bend and stretch and become something for them that I thought that they needed. I always would listen to my nervous system, and it would always make me feel like I'm unsafe. Pay attention to that. Number 6, stop trying to rescue or fix. You are not their savior. When you stop saving people, you stop abandoning yourself. I'm guilty. I used to be Mrs. Fix-It, and apparently sometimes I still am. I'm always feeling like I have to be more to a person than they are to themselves. You all, please pay attention to that, sis. Like, if you're in your relationship and you always feel like you have to rescue someone from, a downward spiral, you have to rescue someone from self-sabotage, you have to always fix their problems, that you can't even focus on your own problems, that is definitely someone that's zapping your energy, that's coming into your life to be the biggest distraction of them all, and someone who will never have your best interest at heart, because they're more concerned about how you ought to invest in them and pour into them and be what they need, which ultimately is their crutch, or ultimately is their safe space, whereas you are out here on this island by yourself, not knowing if someone's going to throw you a raft to save you. We have to be very wise and get out of the emotional state of being and really be logical. Really ask ourselves, does this make sense? Ask ourselves, does this truly align with who I am and what desires I have for myself? And number 7, choose alignment over attachment. Ask yourself, does this relationship support who I'm becoming? If not, love may require distance, and I'm guilty of that. Some people really would attach themselves to you, and it's an unhealthy attachment. It is not divine alignment. You start to realize that you're not focusing on the things that are bettering your life. You are compromising on so many levels. You are losing the zeal for the purpose that God has given you. You are highly distracted. You are always triggered. You feel traumatized. Your nervous system is off, right? You know that there's this attachment, but you just like, why can't I shake this attachment? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel godly. It doesn't feel like it's something that is pouring into me, filling me up, and creating this abundance of overflow of joy and peace and happiness and fulfillment and purpose. It is actually making me feel the opposite of all of those things. And so that is how you know if the relationship or datingship is an unhealthy attachment or divine alignment. So, lovelies, I want to leave you with a sacred reminder, if that's okay. And you know what? I'm always taking notes in my phone. All right. Breaking toxic cycles isn't about blaming yourself, sis. It's about choosing yourself again and again and again until peace becomes your new normal. That's it. That's all. It's really choosing yourself and understanding your self-worth, understanding and believing that God has created more in you, for you to experience and to be. Well, I hope today's video, though it was a quick lesson, make sure you subscribe, right? But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this conversation so that we can heal together. We can do the work at home. We can do the work in our living room. We can do the work one-on-one, virtually, over Zoom, over a phone call. There are so many resources that that I've created that I can help, you navigate these types of experiences in your life so that you can break the cycle and overcome so that you can be the woman that you desire to be, the woman that God has called you to be before the foundations of the earth, the world, before you were in your mother's womb, sis. Okay, so it's really doing the work and not being afraid of the work. And you have me, your virtual sister, who can help you virtually and spiritually, emotionally, really unpack this and get to the core of this so that you can build yourself up, the way that God sees you, the way that you desire to see yourself. So for more information, check the description and you will find all of the deets there. So make sure that you like, comment, share, and take note. And until next week, I want you all to have an amazing week ahead and you all be well. Love y'all. And thanks for watching.